What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video where we just got episode 5 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it did not disappoint. In fact, it really sets up a lot for the finale, including Sam's new suit and what's going to be happening in the finale with the Flag Smashers and John Walker, U.S. agent, as well. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down episode 5 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but this is just spoiler warning. If you have not seen the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5, if you are trying to avoid spoilers, you should probably click away now. But if you're still here, let's get started. So this episode starts with John Walker going into the warehouse after he ran away from the incident he caused, killing one of the Flag Smashers with the shield, like pounding him in the middle of the street, and a monument in front of a lot of people recording on their phones and going into the warehouse. And then he's continuously having flashbacks of his friend Lamar Hoskins, aka Battlestar, in which he was killed because the Flag Smashers that killed him, and that led to John Walker killing one of the Flag Smashers, leaving so much blood on the shield. And then Sam and Bucky meet up with John Walker, having a conversation where they have to take the shield back from him. And then he says, "You don't want to do this." And then Bucky says, "Yeah, we do." And then they all end up in a fight just to get the shield back from him. And then Sam and Bucky individually fight John Walker into giving the shield back from him. And then they don't get it back. And then, as the fight continuously goes on, Sam and Bucky use all their pressure to get the shield back from John Walker. And then, when they manage to get the shield back from him, they fall, and then Bucky ends up giving it to Sam, and then he walks away. And then, in the next scene, we see police officers arresting the rest of the Flag Smashers, which meaning Carly's followers. And then Sam and Torres are having a conversation in which Sam gives Torres Sam's Falcon wings, because in the Marvel Comics, Torres ends up being the next Falcon. And then John Walker ends up going to court for his court mandated in trial, where John Walker explains to the judges, where he explains to the judge that he's done everything that the court has wanted him to be ever since he became the new Captain America, of what he told him to do, how to train him to be the next Captain America. Then he tries to convince the senator that he is Captain America, but they said not anymore, and they end up and that they want the shield back from him. And then when the senator tells him to give the shield back to them, he just simply walks away from the trial. And then we see a new character walking to John Walker and his wife, and she reveals her name as Valentina Allegra de Fonte. And that in the Marvel Comics, her identity, her real name is Madame Hydra. And then she tells him to not worry about the shield, and then she ends up telling him that it's not really government property. It doesn't belong to the government. And then she gives them her contact info card, but it had nothing on it. And then the Flag Smashers go to look at the city that was cleared up, obviously by the Global Repatriation Council, and they cleared it up. And then in Sokovia, Zemo looks at his family monument, and of course he's a look at the family monument in Sokovia is because his family ended up in a tragedy, which ended up Zemo taking in revenge and to leave his work unfinished. And then Bucky and Zemo are having a conversation where Zemo discusses Carly's next move and how she can continue her mission. And then Bucky attempts to kill Zemo with a gun pointed at his head, and when it doesn't work, he decides to take all the bullets out and to not kill him. And then after that, the Wakandans just start to gather up and start to take Zemo back to the raft. And now with the raft, this is a reference to Captain America Civil War, in which Sam, Clint, Wanda, and Zemo all ended up in prison after fighting each other after breaking the Sokovia Accords. And so the Wakandans end up taking Zemo back to prison. And then in Baltimore, Sam goes to meet Isaiah Bradley, and what we see here is Eli Bradley, and which, before we know that in the Marvel Comics, he goes on to lead the Young Avengers as a young patriot. And then Sam and Isaiah are having a conversation where Sam mentioned that Isaiah was a super soldier like Steve and that he could be the next Captain America, and then Isaiah described him as blonde hair, blue eyes, and stars and stripes, which represents the shield and the costume too. And then Isaiah tells Sam his backstory and his experiences as the super soldier. And then Isaiah gives Sam a picture of his granddaughter, Sam Bradley. And then he also tells Sam that he was experimented on and that he was thrown in jail, and it went on for 30 years. And then he mentions that they erased him, he erased his memory, and that he erased his history. And then Isaiah shows Sam his scars after what he's been through for the past 30 years. He was tortured and being put in prison, and he was being experimented on by secret Hydra agents, and that it led a punishment for knives into Isaiah's body, which he says it's been going on for 500 years. And so within Isaiah Bradley's backstory, he decided he wanted to be a retired superhero and not be a black super soldier, and that he doesn't want to be given the shield, but Sam wanted to be the next Captain America. And then Sam walks out of the house, not giving the shield to Isaiah, because apparently Isaiah went through a lot as a super soldier and didn't feel like getting the shield from Sam. And then Sam is on his family ship with other people who work on the ship as well. And then Bucky comes by and drops off a case, which is apparently Sam's new suit, which he leaves for Sam. And now within this new Falcon suit, a Falcon Captain America suit that Bucky gives to him, he says it's from the Wakandans, which is a new Falcon suit, which is going to be out of vibranium metal of the wings. And then John Walker pays his respects to Lamar's parents after Lamar died in the last episode from the Flag Smashers. And then Lamar's mom tells John Walker and that it was an honor to be with him, and it meant the world to him, and that he would be the next Captain America. And then as John Walker is walking out with the cast, he sees a poster of himself that says John Walker cap his back, as he feels like he's not Captain America anymore, in the sense that the shield isn't the government's property anymore, and that he doesn't feel like Captain America anymore. And then we hear Sharon Carter and Botrox having a conversation on the phone, and now with Botrox, so we last saw him in episode 1 in the opening episode where he was hijacking a plane, and now he and Sharon Carter are having some kind of like deal, which is associated with money. And now with this ending, with Sam and Bucky meet up again, Sam is really practicing with shield, and that he's getting used to its grip and practicing it again and again, and training and practicing with it. And then Bucky mentions that shield was the closest thing he has got left to a family, in which included him, Sam, and Steve Rogers. And then Sam asks Bucky, is he still having nightmares as the Winter Soldier brainwashed by Hydra, and then he says all the time. And that finally Sam and Bucky go their separate ways. And then it shows a montage of Sam practicing with the shields, exercising and training to be the next Captain America and to be fighting the Flag Smashers. And what was really the highlight of this episode. And then it ends in New York City with Carly and the Flag Smashers and a boat truck where Carly discusses the plan, and which is why they'll win. And then she puts the rest of the citizens under their control, which is of the GRC, of the Global Repatriation Council. And then the GRC, also known as the Global Repatriation Council, ends up getting hacked by the Flag Smashers, in which means that a fight is really happening. And then in the last scene, it shows Sam opening up the case that Bucky lets him from the Wakandans, and it's going to show Sam's new Falcon Captain America suit with new wings that is made of new vibranium metal, in order to help him to be the next Captain America and take down the Flag Smashers, which is going to play a big part in the finale. And then we get our very first post-credit scene for the Falcon and Winter Soldier, in which it shows a picture of John Walker and Lamar Hoskins, also known as Battlestar, and then it shows John Walker, U.S. agent, making a brand new shield and adding from badges from his suit and putting it onto his new shield. And with all the stuff leading up to the finale, we're in for a one heck of a battle. But yeah, that is gonna be it for my Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5. Right down, let me know in the comments down below, what would you rate this episode out of 10? Don't forget to give this video a like, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.